Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And we have in studio with us Mrs. Vernrick Simon Frederick, who is the director of the Tobago Extension Campus, University of the Southern Caribbean. And she's here to talk to us about the USC enrollment process. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Akinlabi. Thank you for having me. Good morning to all your loyal viewers.
Yes.
Wonderful to be here.
So let's start off the conversation by saying, when does the school year reopen for the University of the Southern Caribbean?
All right. So we, unlike the primary school and secondary schools, we start classes on September 2. We didn't have that extra week.
You didn't get it.
So that didn't apply to us. Our schedule don't always coincide with schools. So as of September 2, we'll be back in classes. And so we are still in the enrollment period. Actually, officially today would have been the last day for taking applications. However, we know results just came out. And so because results just came out, we do this every year. We give a week grace to those who just got results and may want to come into school. All right?
Okay, so tell us about this enrollment process, because there might be persons who are interested, who haven't applied as yet. They're still thinking about it. And as you said, results came out today. So they may finally make up their minds today about whether they want to apply or not. And so tell us about the enrollment process, what they need to do, what documents they require.
All right, good, yes. So as some of you may or may not know, USC is one of the only institutions right now in Tobago where you can do a complete bachelor's degree right here in Tobago without leaving home.
Yes.
All right, and we actually have face-to-face classes. We do have some online classes as well, but you can actually do a degree completely here, face-to-face. So we offer degrees in business management, business marketing, accounting, primary education for those who want to teach, behavioral sciences, psychology, social work, those you can do completely right here. And so the application process is done completely online. You go to our website, usc.edu.tt. That's usc.edu.tt. And I think there's a flyer coming up on the screen for you to see. Yes, so you can go there and you can apply. I know some persons would have had some challenges. We were having some website issues earlier this month, but those have been since rectified. And for those of you who are still may be having challenges, you can come to our office and we would assist you there. We are located right in Rockley Field. So of course, what you would need to apply would be a copy of your birth paper, just to confirm that you know you were born when you said you were born, a copy of your photo ID, so that could be your ID card or your passport, passport size picture. We also would, of course, need a copy of your CSEC results. So for persons who are just getting their results, a screenshot would do. We'll take that for now. Of course, when you get your official results from school, you'll bring those in to us. You have a year to get your stuff regularized, so we'll take that. There's also a citizenship agreement that we expect persons to sign, and that's available either online for download or you could come to the office and get that. And there are also 2 recommendation forms you need to sign, one by a teacher, the other one preferably by a minister. But if you're not a religious person, then a work supervisor would do. And again, those forms are available at the office or you can download them online. We also have a non-refundable application fee of $60 that you can pay online or you can pay at the bank. All right, so those are the things you would need. So you can come to our office all next week because, as I said, normally once results come out, we give a 1-week grace period. Right. So for persons who may be now waking up and realizing, oh, I did get the passes that I wanted to get. And of course, the minimum requirement to get into our institution is 5 O-level passes. So once you have 5 O-level passes, then you qualify to join our programs. I know math is a ticklish area. So we do have at least 3 or 4 programs that psychology, behavioral science, and social work don't require math. Okay. So if you have 5 without the math, you can still pursue one of those degrees. However, if you want to do business, then you must have mathematics. Because of course, to count the money, you must be able to do math, right? And if you want to teach in the primary school, then you must have math, English, and a science subject as among your 5 passes. So once you have those basic requirements, then you can come into the office, as I said, or you can go online, because I know we have a lot of tech-savvy young persons around. You can do everything online because it's really an online process, but we normally facilitate persons at the office who may need help scanning documents and who may not be as tech-savvy and so on. You can come to the office and we'll assist. All next week we do that because our orientation begins August 25. And as I said, we begin classes September 2. Yes. So we do have persons at admissions office on standby, waiting for these applications, but we call these the late applications because everybody has applied already. But these are all late applications, those who are now making up their minds as to what they want to do and so on. And let me also say that besides the ones I mentioned, you could actually start any of USC's programs at the Tobago campus and then transfer. So I know it may be a quick time for you to transfer to Trinidad now for September, but you can do your first semester in Tobago and prepare to transfer in January or the following September. Because if you want to do things like computing or biology, things that require labs, you know, you would need to, you can start that in Tobago, but you'll have to transfer to Trinidad. On nursing program, I know somebody's going to ask about it because that's the one they ask about all the time. It's one of the best programs that we have. Unfortunately, if you're doing the nursing program, we aren't taking persons because I already closed off for September. But I do implore persons, if you want to get into nursing, you have your 5 passes, apply now, so your name will go on the list for next year, because there is a waiting list.
So
all right?
For something like nursing, do you need subjects such as like biology, chemistry, that kind of thing?
We go with the basic requirements from Nursing Council, which is math, English, and a science subject. So they don't stipulate what science it has to be. Of course, if you do things like biology and chemistry, it makes it easier for you.
Yes.
All right. But stipulation from Nursing Council is math, English, and the science subject. And of course, well, 2 other subjects, so you must have at least 5. Okay. All right. So that is what we don't teaching and nursing, we don't do anything because those are requirements given to us by the government. So for a teacher's number, you must have math, English, and science. Yes. For nursing number, you must have the same thing. That's the requirement that we use. There's no bending on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are seeing you mentioned here a signed citizenship agreement. Could you just explain what a citizenship agreement is?
So of course, because you know, some may not know. Let me just say you know, because not everybody would know. The University of the Southern Caribbean is a Seventh-day Adventist run institution. So we are a Christian-based institution. So it means that we do uphold Christian standards, and so we expect our students to maintain Christian standards as well while they're at our school. And so part of the application process is where we give you a citizenship agreement where we outline the things that we expect you to do. You know, no obscene language, no illicit drugs and those sort of things, no lewd behavior, and so on. So those are the basic things that would, and you are signing to say that you agree to comply by those rules, and you must also have a witness sign. It's going to be one of your parents, or even one of us at the office, to sign to say that you are going to abide by these rules once you are enrolled at USC. All right. I think there's also a flyer up for the master's programs as well. We do have some master's programs.
Yes.
And their application deadline is actually 25th of August because they normally start a little bit later than the undergrad students. So we currently have the MBA program that's fully online that you can do. There are several emphases there. We also have the master's in counseling psychology, educational psychology, occupational therapy, and there's a new one that we have in instructional design. Those for educators who want to go into that IT side of things or instructional design, edtech kind of something. We do have a new master that's actually just starting. The first cohort is going now. We opening applications for those as well.
So the master's programs, in terms of what the courses, or even the bachelors as well, in terms of what the courses are offering, do you get a full breakdown in terms of what each bachelor, what each degree
But
entails?
then yes, you can. Yes, so well, ordinarily we've been able to get that information at our website, but as I said, we are going through some rebuilding of the website, rebranding, so to speak. Of course, we can get it, so you can contact us to get information, but of course, in every program, all our bachelor's degree programs take 4 years. Because you don't require A-levels to come in, you take 4 years to do it. If you come with your A-levels, you actually get some time off. So you may spend about 3 years, depending on what you did at A-levels. So CAPE does help you if you do that. All right. And so within our program, we do have, it's structured similar to the American style degrees. So you have your general education requirements, of course, because we believe that you should be a well-rounded person. So you kind of give you a little something in all the different areas. So regardless of where you end up, you can find yourself speaking intelligently.
Yes.
So you must do a science subject, you must do something in math, you must do something in health, you must do something in religion, you know. And then, of course, you have your core courses that you'd have to do for your program. All right. So normally every degree has about 128 credits. So those of you who understand the tertiary level jargon, just about 50 credits of those is general eds. The rest is your core courses that you would need for your degree. Most of our programs also have some sort of practicum or internship where you have to do a practical application of what you would have learned close to the end of your program.
And you stated that the bachelor's program is 4 years, the master's program.
Right, the master's programs that we offer, those are 2-year programs. All right, again, those programs, you'll have your general core courses, you'll have some general courses that you'll have to do, like in research writing and those sorts of things. And then you'd also have your thesis that you'd have to work on. All right, so most persons tend to finish the coursework within 2 years, and you may take an additional year to do the thesis, or you could get it all done within 2 years. All right, what you're seeing on the screen right now, I think, is the MBA program.
Yes. And
you're seeing all the different emphases that we have there. So you can do a full MBA, of course. And let me just say the criteria for any of our master's programs is a bachelor's degree. If you didn't do something in business and you think you want to switch, you can still come in. What you'd have to do, probably spend a year doing some prerequisite classes. Because, before you jump right into business, let's say you're doing like media education, you want to jump into business, you may need to do some prerequisite courses like a basic accounting and those kind of things, basic marketing. So you would spend probably a semester, depending on what you didn't do in your bachelor's degree, a semester or two doing those prerequisites, and then you jump into the master's program.
So somebody like me, I would have to do prerequisites.
Well, if you didn't do business,
humanities, I did
right,
humanities.
Right.
Definitely.
So what we normally do, because part of the process is that you have to send your transcript to us. So you look at your transcript from your undergrad, and based on what you did, we would contact you and let you know, okay, fine, you didn't do anything. You don't have the business foundations you'd require to do if it's 10 credits, so probably 3 classes, 5 classes in prerequisites to give you the foundation going in, because of course we want you to pass all your classes. So we want to give you that good foundation.
So if someone didn't do business, they did something in, let's say, humanities or sciences, but they worked perhaps 10 years, they could show that they have some sort of
work experience where that also
in
comes
business
as well.
or in management, that kind of thing.
So that work experience helps, because part of the application is that you have to submit a resume. So for the master's program, you have to submit a resume along with a statement of purpose in terms of why you're doing this program. So you have to write an essay, I think it's about 500 words, indicating, probably some less than that, but it's saying why you want to do this program, your resume. So within your resume, you would show what work experience you have, and we do take work experience into consideration.
Yes.
Most likely you'd have to get probably like a letter from your supervisor outlining what your duties are, how long you've been doing them, and that is taken into consideration as well to count towards your prerequisites getting into the program.
Okay, and I know that the USC Tobago campus has been open for quite some time. What is the enrollment like for the campus?
Current active enrollment, let me say active because we have quite a lot of Tobagonians who start programs and don't finish.
Right.
Tobago people seem not to have the same drive as Trinidadians, which is what surprises me, because Tobagonians are always hardworking people. So let me stick a pen here and say to all of you who are still out there and haven't finished your degree, please come back. We want you to come back and finish your degree. Right? But the active enrollment right now is about 140 to 150 students, because you'll have had some persons who just graduated.
Yes.
So the numbers have been fluctuating now, and we expect some new ones coming in. So by the time the new ones come in, we should be up to 150 students based on the numbers I've seen for enrollment so far.
Okay, so you, on a yearly basis, you average 100, 140,
yes.
150.
So 140 basically will be the lower end of it. 135 I think has been the lowest in recent times, and go up to as much. The highest we've had in recent times has been 160 students at any one time in a semester.
And what is the capacity like for the Tobago campus?
Right, so our capacity, we actually have 4 full classrooms that we use. Each classroom could hold up to 50 students, right? And then we also have a computer lab that sometimes doubles as a classroom when things get a bit tight, right? Of course, we also use online modalities, and we also use Zoom as well. So we have so you have the option sometimes when we have days when the place is packed. We would also probably offer a class on Zoom that you could do it on Zoom. And let me just say, at the Tobago campus, unlike the main campus, all our classes are in the afternoon. So you have the luxury of going to work and then coming to class from 4:30 in the afternoon. So the first class begins at 4:30, the last class ends at 8:35. Right, and you also have the option of doing classes in a blended format, which means you could take some face-to-face, you could take some online. We actually have some students who I have never seen. There's actually 2 students who I never saw until their final semester. Wow. Because they did everything because they started during COVID. Okay, and so they did everything else online. But of course, there are some classes you must do face-to-face. Like when you're doing PE, you must do PE face-to-face. Yes. So their final semester, they came and did the PE, the philosophy of service, they did the fine arts class. So those were face-to-face classes, and that's when I saw them. So you actually could have persons who do that. And so it kind of works out well for like mothers and so on who have to balance, childcare and that kind of thing.
So I realized that with the Tobago campus, it's mainly geared towards working people.
Well, yes. Initially, when our campus was established back in 2005, actually 20 years this year, that was the initial job persons that we were getting towards, persons who are already working and needed to be upgraded. Of course, since then, several persons in Tobago have been upgraded. And so now our catchment is really those coming out from secondary school. Yes. And for those who already have their bachelor's degrees, persons who want to do masters. And as I said, the masters are done online. So for those, you can stay at home again and get them done.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Vernrick Simon Frederick. Before you go, you could give one last page, remind them what documents they need, when is the deadline for applications and so forth.
All right. So once again, I'm encouraging you to come be a part of the USC family. We are the place where we transform ordinary people into extraordinary servants to God and humanity. And of course, you can start with us. You have 1 more week to get in. And what we need to get from you, your ID card, your birth paper, your CSEC results. A screenshot would do if you just got your results. 2 recommendation forms, which can be downloaded or received at the office. Citizenship agreement, again, downloaded or come at the office. And there's a $60, just only $60, non-refundable application fee. And so we look forward to seeing you at the office next week. As of Monday, we open from 9 to 5, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This week we'll be there, and you can come anytime and receive service from our lovely staff.
And for those very, 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 very few people that don't know where the office is.
Oh my goodness. So if you are in Tobago and still know where we are, I'm certain everyone knows where Harmon is. All right, Harmon, that's a Seventh-day Adventist secondary school, and you're going down the hill to Harmon. We are the first building. Well, let me say the second, because the first is the credit union, the blue building. We are the first building. It's a green building going down the hill to Harmon in Rockleyville, Scarborough. Of course, if you Google us, you'll also get directions there, so you can find us. And we look forward to seeing you.
All right, thank you very, very much, Ms. Vernrick Simon Frederick, who is the director of the Tobago Extension Campus of the University of the Southern Caribbean, speaking to us about USC Enrollment. USC Enrollment, you have 1 more week after today's results, CSEC and CAPE results come out today. You have 1 more week to get in the USC programs. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this short break, but do us a favor. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Marcus Daniel will be in studio after this.